Hey there, fellow gamers. It's the Weeping Jester yet again. I'm continuing my video game collection. We're almost done. I'm saving PS2 for last because I do have quite a lot of them. But let's go ahead and jump into the PSP. I have a fairly decent amount. To start us off, we have Bomberman. I was hoping this would be like the Game Boy version that I have because I really like the Game Boy version. It's fun, but easy to put down. I guess Bomberman's had his time. Burnout Legends, this is my all-time favorite PSP game. It's really fun to play on the go. Burnout is probably like one of the best games you can play on the go. And it's a lot of fun, there's a ton of stuff to do. The only thing is it takes a lot of the tracks from Burnout 3. So if you've played the past Burnouts, this is just a like 1 through 3 best of, which happens to have most of them from 3. Burnout Dominator is a bit different. It changes the formula up a bit. I definitely didn't like it as much, but it's still a good game. Cars the movie, I almost dropped it there. I don't really know why I really purchased this, but I did. I think I got it really cheap. It's just your average racing game, nothing special. Coated Arms, this is one of the launch games for the PSP. When I got my PSP, I was able to find a bunch of launch games really cheap, and this was one of them. It is a very challenging game, I will admit. Definitely not easy. The way that it works is like if you are low on supplies, you don't get refilled on the next mission. So you can complete a mission with low supplies and start the next one, and because the next one's even harder, you'll be totally screwed. Daxter, this is one of the best PSP games out there. If you follow the Jak series, it bridges the gap in the story that's left between Jak 1 and 2, and it follows Daxter around. There's some really fun mini games, and the gameplay altogether is pretty fun. God of War Chains of Olympus. Basically, this is a prequel to God of War. They're adding up now in prequels, but it's cool. The gameplay transitions well onto the PSP, so that's good. This is another launch title I got, Hot Shots Golf Open T. Pretty basic game. It feels just like the consoles. If you like Hot Shots Golf or golf in general, I'd suggest that. Loco Roco, really cool game. Basically, you control this blob thing, and you are the world. So you tilt the world like so by using the shoulder buttons on your PSP, and then by pressing circle, you can make your blob turn into a bunch of little blobs to get into smaller cracks, like you could see here. It's a really interesting game. It's a lot of fun. The second one does even better. It mixes things up. I haven't beaten this one yet, but it's a lot more inventive, I guess I'll say, but the same concept. Medal of Honor Heroes. I usually don't like first-person shooters on the PSP because of the way the controls are. You use the face buttons X, square, triangle, and circle to look around because there's no right analog stick, but Medal of Honor Heroes plays pretty well. It has a skirmish mode, which is like online multiplayer if you don't have it, which can be a lot of fun, and the multiplayer is just as much fun. Doesn't really have a campaign though. Medal of Honor Heroes 2 actually does have a campaign. I think that's because it also released on the Wii a while back. The campaign's cool. It is a bit of a challenge to beat, but when you do, it's there. The skirmish mode isn't here for this one, unfortunately. Prince of Persia Revelations. This is actually the second Prince of Persia game ported onto the PSP. I don't know why they gave it a different name. I didn't really get too far in this. I think the controls are kind of hard. I'd much rather play it on the PS2. I did not know that it was a direct port, pretty much. Ratchet & Clank Science Matters. I'm a big Ratchet & Clank fan, so when this came out, I was incredibly excited. It does a good job transferring over, but as most PSP games, it'll never be as good as the console version. But it's still a good game. Resistance Retribution. I wanted this one for a while. I did not get it right away, but I did in time, and I just haven't had the time to beat it yet. But it's a pretty cool third-person shooter. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Ridge Racer, another launch game. it's a racing game, but it's not very fun. At least not for me. I know there's a lot of Ridge Racer fans out there. So sorry if I'm insulting one of your favorite games, but it didn't do it for me. SOCOM US Navy SEALs. I found this one for like $5 and thought I'd pick it up because judging by the back, it looks like a decent game. I could not get past the first level, so don't judge a game by its cover, I guess. Star Ocean, The First Departure. Decent RPG. Unfortunately, my PSP is either really old or this UMD isn't any good, and it freezes and stuff, and I messed up a couple times thanks to a couple glitches, and I had to start over. And you know how slowly RPGs are to start up. Star Wars Battlefront 2, this was my first game on the PSP. I got it when I got the PSP, because I'm a big Star Wars Battlefront fan as well. Once again, the first-person shooter controls were a bit weird, but essentially it's the same game, minus some maps. It's not as big of a game, it's like half the size. Also, the matches last about half as long too, really quick matches. Renegade Squadron is an exclusive PSP Battlefront, and this one's really good. You can customize your character, so instead of selecting from pre-loadouts, you get to customize your character, your equipment. You basically create a guy, and the maps are really cool. The story mode's pretty cool. I really liked Renegade Squadron a lot. They're all coming out of order here. Stop falling over, guys. Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron. Kind of the same thing. They did something that I think would have made it fantastic. You can go from space to ground to inside a ship, and that's awesome because it combines everything that's good in Battlefront into one big battle. The only problem is there's a loading screen when you switch between each, and they make it a certain way, so there's a certain way to win. You go from ground to space, then back to ground, and that's kind of how you win every match. Twisted Metal Head On, pretty fun game. You are a car and then you shoot people in cars with your car. It gets a bit more interesting than that. Very challenging. I only beat it because I used cheat codes, but you know, it's a fun game. I'm not very proud when I use cheat codes. I do have one more PSP game, Killzone Liberation. It's loose. I don't have it out for this video, but I am going to be doing a video of my loose games, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.